Good morning, hello, and a very warm welcome to the second edition of World of Fenestration Debate Series. I am Mohit Nevani, as the Vice President of ACE Tech. On behalf of the entire management, would like to thank each one of you for joining us for today's webinar. ACE Tech being the largest platform of the country, we understand the current situation and we are proud to bring together the industry through this unique webinar debate series. And the theme for today's webinar is UPVC versus aluminium. A key part of the fenestration segment has always been towards the importance of systems and material. UPVC and aluminium has been at the forefront. Both industries are constantly innovating with superior systems and cutting-edge technologies, setting high standards. Today, we get a chance to compare the two cornerstones, and we have thought leaders who will be battling this out. Our valedictory for today's debate is Ms. Anupama Sharma, Managing Director, Gensler India. Anupama has helped clients successfully define their goals and requirements for a range of complex projects, including large-scale mixed-use developments and high-performance buildings in commercial, office, hospitality, residential, infrastructure, and other market sectors. She brings valuable international experience and leadership to the Gensler India team. Our moderator for today's session is Mr. Jatin Shah, National Director, Colliers International. Jatin is a seasoned real estate professional with over 18 years of experience in India. Jatin has managed entire aspect of project lifestyle development in multiple projects executed across India and also for international projects. As a national director and with the domain expertise of design, procurement cost, and overall development, he has collaborated and led teams to provide value-add suggestions and inputs. We will be conducting various live polls during the webinar, and hence I request all attendees to participate and cast your vote. Without any further delay, I would like to hand over the platform to Mr. Jatin. Jatinji, the mic is all yours.
Thank you, Mohitji, for this warm introduction. A very warm welcome to all the participants. We have close to about 500 registrations and many more panelists are joining. And this is the second debate series coming from World of Fenestration. World of Fenestration, as Mohitji mentioned, is a very niche conclave which is designed to unite architects, fabricators, developers, facade consultants, and all the other stakeholders of this Indian industry, which will basically be it beyond to drive the discussion on how the aesthetics and trends can be harmonized with energy efficient technologies. Focus of this debate series today is UPVC versus aluminium, as Mohitji mentioned, and this is to basically have a very healthy debate between all the panelists today. It has been curated to basically generate a knowledge platform which will provide us key takeaways today, and it will be a lot of good learning session. We all look forward to having them. Beyond aesthetics, as we all know, windows are expected to perform their functions such as optimizing daylights, insulation, energy conservation, noise attenuations, and pollution control as well. There is a greater demand for windows and doors that needs to have lower maintenance costs as well, and which are which are made from energy efficient materials. Aluminium versus UPVC. This is a long, outstanding debate topic, and it is going to go worse today for every one of us. It is a tough decision to make for all the stakeholders at the design stage or at the procurement stage. We will today allow all our eminent panelists to take a 360-degree review of all the pros and cons which we have both with either UPVC or with aluminum technology. And I'm sure at the end of the debate, you guys who are on the participants will make the right choice by voting for the right team as a winner. Just to give you a little background, UPVC, which is an unplasticized polyvinyl chloride, is a very durable material and its resistance to rot, has a longer lifespan and requires a very less maintenance. However, UPVC also degrades over the years, albeit at a much slower rate. In 2018, UPVC accounted to about 22% of the overall share of market. This market is about 4,000 crore. We have close to 20 extrusion companies in the world, in India, of which 6 are importing and only 14 are manufacturing locally. Compared to this, aluminum market shares are about 50%, as it is a very highly durable material and is a very good quality system. Aluminum windows also can last a long. The issue here is that market share is about 10,000 crore, but the system aluminum windows are only about 15% of that. Without taking much time, today we have red team and blue team. Participants can identify them with the logos behind them, which is in blue color or the red color. Please remember, today's winner is in hands of you participants. So it's not going to be an easy discussion because this debate has been going on from quite a lot of decades. Every vote is going to matter. Everything which the panelists are going to talk need to be noted carefully, and accordingly your fingers should be pressing the right buttons. Let us listen to the arguments put forth today. I would like to first introduce the red teams here. Let me start with introducing Mr. Kamlesh Chaudhary. He is the Managing Director of Glasswall Systems India Private Limited. For the last 20 years in facade and fenestration, he has been highlighting the skyline of across the country. In fact, in one of the presentation, when someone asked him, what's the work you have done? He put up a Bombay skyline and said, this is the work I have done. As facade contractors, Glasswall has received from last 8 years consecutive Construction Week awards. Kamlesh has himself completed close to 300 projects span India. Landmarks of that are Mr. Anil Ambani's residence at Antilia, World Tower, Blue Estate, Sheraton Towers, Colombo, etc. Welcome, Kamlesh. Thanks for joining us. My second red panelist is Mr. Indranil Devnath. He is the Managing Director of Neil Technograph Private Limited. He is a visionary and is a focused entrepreneur in aluminum fenestration industry over the last 23 years. One of the foremost in window industry to adopt and to invest in the technology. He has worked along with big international system suppliers as well. He deals with bespoke systems and has individually developed systems in India. Thank you for joining, Indranil. Welcome. The third panelist on the red team is Mrs. Sami Zaid. He's a technical director and Asia of Technal System, which is the hydro building systems. Mr. Sami is a civil engineer and is hailing from a reputed Lebanese university, Faculty of Engineering. He has completed his specialization in structural design and engineering. With over 20 years of industry experience, he is currently the technical director for Asia in hydro building systems. Thank you, Mr. Sami, for joining this panel. Let me now introduce to you participants the Blue Group. The Blue Group basically represents the UPVC system. Mr. Satish Kumar. Satish Kumar is the Managing Director of Emerging Market Asia and Australasia of Dasmic India. Mechanical engineer with 2 decades of experience in business development in the field of facades. His experience is in profile systems, machinery, fenestration systems, etc. He is currently as a regional role as Managing Director of Dasmic Group of Asia and Australasia. He is part of UWDMA Technical Committee and is also associated with Thailand to develop the window standards for Thailand. Thank you, Satish, for joining us. The second participant, second panelist from the Blue Group is Mr. Ullas Gilani. He is Assistant General Manager of Window Solutions at Rehau Polymers India Limited. He does engineering in manufacturing process and automation from NSR IT Delhi in 2002. He has 18 years experience in product design and development, production operations, product management, and trainings. He joined Rehau in 2007 and is now responsible for the technical division in window department. Welcome, Mr. Ullas. Now, the third panelist from the blue team is Mr. Mario. Everyone knows him as German Jart. He's a Managing Director of Lingel Windows and Doors Technologies Private Limited. Mario has been establishing his company in India, and he has made it as one of the top 10 performing companies in the country on this fenestration system. He has helped in creating smart windows and is also president of UWDMA. He is actively involved from last couple of years as an active panelist in various events and associated with ACETEC and ZAC. Thank you, Mario, for joining us. Let me now begin this series. Participants, you need to be real careful. Please note down all the points. It's going to be one of the biggest debates of this year. The first module is going to be on the opening remarks, where we will allow each member to put their points for a period of 2 to 3 minutes. There is a buzzer which will be sounded off at the 2 minutes. Each one of you, please remember to then conclude your opening remarks accordingly. Unfortunately, Mr. Mohit here has the mute button with him. He will mute you at the end of 3rd minute. Yeah, so you have overall 3 minutes. So let me not take much time and let me invite the German judge, Mario, to the opening remarks.
Very good morning to everyone. It's a real pleasure for me of being here. And of course, with this much of wonderful panelists, I think it will be an outstanding session today. Let me start shortly, UPVC. Let me talk about the evaluation in India, UPVC, the last 15 years. When we landed here in India in the year 2006, or let's go 1 year back in 2005, the UPVC industry has started in the country. What was there at this point of time? We had an mostly unorganized sector of aluminium, and the wood fabrication, aluminium fabrication was mostly done at site. What our industry, UPVC, has done, that we got the fabrication widely back from the site towards the factory, that we have created an industry trade where we have created employment, where those employees are covered under PF and under ESI. And we have created, of course, therefore, a very good income towards the entire economy. And while having systems in place, each system which has entered India went prior to usage through various rounds of testing. All the systems which are used are having certificates. They got finally approved. And this is where the fabrication is going to get monitored. One more key point, what we did during the initial days of the industry in the year 2007, 8, 9, we formed our industry association called UTMA, where presently I have the honor of being the president since the year 2016, where we have united the entire industry from day one. And presently, with all the system providers, more than 70% of the business is covered under the umbrella of the association. Each move which the industry did went jointly in consideration and in speaking with the UTMA members, so that the industry from day one spoke on a united voice. This I want to say what was the background, the way UTMA and the UPVC industry in India has started. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you, Mario, for your opening remarks. Over to the red team, Kamlesh. Let's hear from you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this interesting debate of UPVC and aluminium. Thank you, Jatin. Thank you, Ace Tech teams, and thank you, Anupama, for making this possible. I will start this interesting debate and interesting topic with this. Fenestration, as you all know, that it's an integral part of the building design and integral part of the design, building design, and it considers various aspects such as energy, efficiency, aesthetics, eco-friendly nature of development. The purpose of fenestration is to allow, free flow and is required in required quantity of the desired elements such as light, air, access, and connectivity in the required quantity, and restrict the excessive flow of air, water, light, dust, and other elements. The major factors affecting the efficiency of the facade design that includes versatility, material, placement, design. So now let me highlight you some of the statistics on the aluminium vis-a-vis UPVC. Currently, this information very few people might be knowing, but it's very interesting to know that aluminium is the second most used metal in the world after steel, and third most available element on the earth, constituting almost 7.3% by mass. As per the industry estimates, as of December 2019, the current market size for the facade industry in India is approximately 20,000 crores, organized and unorganized put together, and witnessed an annual growth of 20% due to rapid urbanization, increased demand for homes, offices, and other high-end glass building. the use of UPVC material as compared to aluminum is still in its nascent stage. It's evident from its low market share. As per the market sources, UPVC accounts for around 15 to 20% of the facade market and is estimated to be around 4,000 crores. So with that, this includes organized and unorganized sector and imports, which is one of the major components when it comes to UPVC. Aluminum is widely used in the market as it is available locally, lower cost of production, faster compared to UPVC. It holds approximately 55% share, along with 20% of UPVC, 15% of wood, and 10% of steel. Interesting fact, aluminum is not only as having a large market share, but it's a big contributor to the economy. India is the largest producer of bauxite in the world, and this makes making aluminum a local material. From mining to architectural section, everything is locally available, and we are self-dependent. Atmanirbhar Bharat is what we have been talking about in these last 3 months. When you talk about UPVC, there are challenges. It's an imported material. Oil is an important ingredient. Almost 43% goes as an oil component in manufacturing of UPVC, which India has to import. And this adds to the burden to the treasury in some or the other way. It impacts the economical growth of our country. So overall, if you look at everything, with 55% market share, aluminum dominates the fenestration industry. It lasts for ages, and it's a good long-term investment. So we look forward. Thank you so much for giving me time, and thank you so much for the views.
Thank you, Kamlesh. I think you batted very well. Good slogging on the first initial overs. Let's see how the match turns around. Over to you, Ullas. You need to counter good points raised by Kamlesh on versatility, on design, on scalability, etc. Over to you, Ullas. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Namaste, everybody. And thank you, Jatin. Thank you, panelists and participants, for joining this interesting discussion on aluminium versus UPVC. So as Jatin introduced UPVC as unplasticized polyvinyl chloride, or in basic terms, is a rigid form of a PVC which is being used as windows and door sections. The profiles are added with correct additives, which makes it strong enough to work against all kind of climatic conditions, whether it's hot climates or the colder countries. The first window profile was developed in the year 1958, and thereafter it has gone under several changes, several developments to meet the technical requirements, to meet the climatic requirements, traditional requirements of the individual country, and setting up higher standards of performance which were not seen in the aluminium windows. These UPVC windows can be used to make different styles of windows which are there available globally, which were earlier possible with timber or aluminium. We can do normal horizontal sliders and casement style windows to high-end tilt and turns, tilt and slides, slide and folds, large size doors, lift and slides, multi-fold louvers, and many more things. And then also in the different finishes. It's not just white, it's about the color, it's about the wood finish. Everything comes from the factory. There's nothing done at site. Apart from it, with the multi-chamber technologies, with dual and triple sealing, with corner joints, UPVC windows have set higher standards of performance. We as UDMA are working towards the standards in the Indian standards, where the aluminium standards are 1980s and never been revised by the industry. We are working towards the standards to set a higher level so that the customer gets the right product which is based on the correct project performances. These sections are offered as a complete systems. Continuous innovations are being carried out on and around windows in not just profiles, also the raw materials, the fittings, security systems, shading, privacy, and the strength, insulation properties are getting improved. So I would like to stop here and want to share that the first energy efficient passive house green building in Germany was made with UPVC. The first net zero green building of India from the government of India is made with UPVC. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ullas. Very interesting point on 1958 as a start, and the journey of UPVC Windows has been fantastic. I should say that. And also about the German LEED certified building. That's really nice. Over to you, Sammy. Sammy, you represent the red team again, and I think you were wanting to do some kind of presentation. So over to you, Sammy.
Yeah, good morning to all our audience. Good morning to all our panelists. As I'm coming from a technical background and coming from Hydro, the biggest company in the aluminium world, I would share with you more technical information about aluminium. I hope all of you are seeing my screen. The main pillar which we are followed in aluminum fenestrations when we are providing solution in the market, there are three. The first part, the approach for the architect to achieve their expectations on size, aesthetics, and stability. Also, we are following all the standards. As being international company, we are providing for a different part of the standards, starting from European norm to American standard, and now to Indian standards, on which we are contributing now in the preparation for the aluminum fenestrations. And also we provide at the end for the end users all the peace of mind to get a proper design, safe for the end users. So in aluminum fenestration, we provide solution to provide protection from all the weather parameters like wind. And we know now in India what is happening on the global warming and the change of the weather. And you can see more storm, more high wind pressure acting, heavy rain. Also, we can also provide good solution, provide better air tightness. And the most important part is the safety, as we providing solution, fire-rated solutions, security. We are providing fire-rated windows and doors, burglar resistance doors and windows. And also we are providing solution with high acoustic solutions, also thermally improved. And the most important point that we are offering a recyclable material. The aluminium is the material for the future. Look on a quick comparison, if we are looking at the ratio between the strength and the density and the weight, we can find that the ratio is high in aluminium, which offer a very, very high wind resistance. It's applicable in low-rise building, high-rise building. It's also having a good resistance of impact against damage. And the most important point, if you look on the melting point between aluminium and other material, the melting point is higher, so also are able to achieve fire-rated doors and windows, where it can go up to 60 minutes to provide the safety for the user. We're offering a wide range of colors in aluminium, from anodizing to wet to powder coating. Also, we are looking also for the aesthetics in the design. We are able to go to a big size. As you can see, the photos on the left, it's me in front of one of the doors, and you can compare the ratio between the human height and the height of the doors. And on the second photos, we can go more wider, as it is a strong material. We need less subdivisions. We can go with a slim design. We can get more light, because as you know now in COVID, most of the people, they are sitting at their homes, so the home should be more comfort. We have to get more light. So based on this part, offer solution also, however, the aluminium is a conductors, but thanks to the technology of the thermal breaks, we're able to provide maintaining stability and providing good high insulations, so the aluminium fenestration. And the good thing for this thermal break, we're able to provide for you also the aesthetic, the big color from all the grooves are the fittings are inside the grooves, so we have high acoustics achievement. The material, as it was mentioned, it's recyclable. The cyclic, the circular economy, take from then make in clean energy, use, then return it to the cycle. We are offering wide range of windows, doors, slidings, facade, sun shading, guardrail, fire protection, bulletproof, dustproof, partitions, strip window walls. And also we are able to provide high-rise building solution for high-rise building in a different shape. So this is in brief what I can start in the first turn to offer it to our audience. And thank you.
Thank you, Sami. If you can please stop your presentation. Satish, very interesting points put forth by Sami on global warming, high-rise, safety. You could see some fire coming out in one of the buildings, which he didn't speak, but I think he will speak when the debate comes up. Over to you, Satish, because it's all on you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jatin. Thanks to World of Fenestration and ASTEC team for organizing this debate. Actually, for us in PVC, this is not a debate, it's a daily routine. So the aluminum guys are always firing all kinds of salvos against us. but the other two speakers focus more on the material. Probably they need to brush more on the knowledge of PVC. Okay. I don't want to get into the PVC because today's debate is about the doors and window systems. So when it comes to doors and window systems, let me put across some more statistics. Okay. Today in the market is not just Mumbai. We are not just looking at high-rise buildings across. If you look at the market across India, you have all kinds of buildings. And when you look at the total consumption of PVC in the door window sector, it's about 75,000 tons. And this 75,000 tons is being supplied by around 20 companies. And out of these 20 companies, 14 companies are extruding locally. Okay, so when we talk about Atmanirbhar and Made in India, 14 companies are making PVC profiles in India. And out of these 14 companies, 11 companies are part of the Woodma Association, which has been driving the quality of the PVC window systems in the market. Okay. So more than 70% of the 14 companies are members who are producing high quality PVC window systems. So when we look at total market of 75,000 tons, around 40,000 tons are coming into the good window segment already. Okay? And when you look at the aluminum on the other side, the biggest invention or the contribution from the aluminum, the hardware sector is the Star Lock. Now, I stay in a upmarket, very good reputed developer in Mumbai, and the doors have single point lock. And if you go across India, any of the doors of PVC, you will always see a multi-point lock. Okay. When we talk about wind resistance, when you talk about resistance to rain, then you need to look at the locking system. And the locking system is the greatest failure of the aluminum industry. Okay. You can have the best quality aluminum, but then as a window, when you look at the total performance of the window at an economical price, at a moderate price, you find PVC everywhere. That's been seen across India. I'm sure it is going to grow in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Interesting points, Satish. Very interesting points about 11 producers having plans for extrusion in the country today. That's very interesting to know. And of course about the standards. Indranil, you are the last to speak, and these are the slogging overs. Let's see how many sixes are you able to hit. Indranil, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am just entering when it is noon and it has become hot now. And when it becomes hot, the plastic starts melting. So now the things are that when we choose a window, we are looking out for some solutions to cater the element, that is air, water, space, fire, and earth. So in case when you choose aluminium is very rigid material. So then because of its rigidity, its malleability and ductility, we have several features in this. It is very easy to fabricate. It is very easy to machine. And because of this rigidity, now because what Satish told is why we are putting single point locks. Because it's a rigid material, even if in a small window, we can put a single point lock. But plastic has a compulsion, I'm extremely sorry. UPVC has a compulsion where you need to have 2-point lock because that material is not rigid. So it needs multiple contacts. In aluminum, we have all the choices. Aluminum window is like a mall. You come inside this mall of aluminum windows, you have different choices. Your sections are, we can give you as bulky sections as PVC windows are giving. We can give you slim profiles, we can give you curved profiles, we can give you thermally broken profiles. When we go for thermally broken profiles, we can give you a choice of 2 colors, one outside, one inside. We have a choice of colors of around 250 RAL shades. This is very less in numbers, that will increase in time. We have anodizing shades. We are giving PVDF possibilities also. Now this PVDF, we are only on the warranty part of the PVDF is 25 years, which is the life of PVC windows. So you compare only the surface protection. Now, other things of a metal, of aluminum metal, because it is malleable and ductile, we have bending possibilities. It is very flexible in nature. Then the sliders part. Now, can you please tell me whether a PVC can slide on a PVC? Now, PVC has to slide on a metal, and mostly it would be aluminum or steel. So in short, what I can say is, when we come to joineries, we have hairline joineries, which probably they do not have. They have welded joineries. We have hairline joineries. Our finishes, we can give a range of finishes. And the most important thing I want to ask a question is, one is fire, and one is after fire you have toxic gases. Please remember, during the COVID time, the LG factory leaked some gases in Visakhapatnam. So please remember that. That is the point where I'm ending it. Thank you.
Very interesting points, Indranil, and I am sure it's going to be a good, tough fight between UPVC and Red when we see the voting buttons. Participants, we had a very interesting session, and I'm sure all of you have noted the points which each of the panelists have put forth. Please get eager. Let's have the panel, let's have the voting started. Just before the voting coming up, I would request that we have a Q&A session coming up at the last. If you have any questions for the red team or blue team, please start putting up on the chat box. Mohit ji, can we have the voting line opening up? There it comes up. Participants, the red team or the blue team, whom will you choose? Please vote fully. Remember, the hosts and panelists are not allowed to vote, so it's all over to you. Chat box says UPVC. Okay, can we have the results? Let's see. Let's have the results. Oh, aluminium is scoring with 59%, and UPVC has scored 41%. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's nice. Let's open up. We had various in the previous sessions. We had various interesting points which were raised by both the red teams and the blue teams. Participants, we have most of the emphasis today, the red team and blue team, was on the design. So let me take the cue from that information which we had from the opening remarks as a part two, as a subtopic of this, which is very important for us, because anyone who wants to choose a UPVC window or aluminum window has to make that decision right at the front. So why should we choose a UPVC window, or why should we choose an aluminum window? How should we decide on this key point at the design stage? Because there are codes, there are performance issues, there are aesthetic issues, and of course the project location. Satish did mention about all projects are not high rises. They are also low rises. They are also villas. They are also apartments. There are also many other functional uses which are available. Whereas Sammy presented very nicely about high rises, how the world is moving, and with the FSIs increasing, more and more buildings are going to go taller. Indranil put forth a lot of good points on standards. Ullas put forth very good points on sliders. Kamlesh gave very good overview of how the market is and why aluminum is preferred from a perspective of Atmanirbhar. Mario, of course, is raring to go around this. So let me now start this debate session with inviting, and this is going to be a counter argument session, all the panelists. So be prepared to intervene wherever to intervene. Let me but start this by inviting Ullas from the blue team. Ullas, over to you.
Okay. When we talk about design of the correct window, so the right design and right specification, they are key for a success of any project. So it provides a clear instructions on the intent, the performance, and the construction of the project. So if we talk about the windows and doors, it should include three components: the correction of the correct window style, the specification of the framing material, and the performance of the end product. I'll speak mainly on the framing material part, which is UPVC profiles. So in profiles, we have two components which should be checked. One is the raw material and the profile, the end profile. So raw material, when it is checked, it's checked for the softening point, at what temperature it gets softened, and which is much higher than our highest temperature which we see in India or any part of the world. The elasticity, the tensile strength, all these things are checked. And when it comes to the profile, it is not just the dimensions, it is not just the angularity or the straightness or the weight of the profile. The UPVC profiles are also checked with the resistance at higher temperatures. What is how the profile behaves at 100 degrees Celsius, how the profile behaves at 150 degrees Celsius, and thereafter. It also includes the test at the low temperature side where we have the colder regions. Impact strength. Does the profile becomes brittle? Does it cracks at a lower temperature? No, it doesn't. And that's the basic property, and these are the basic advantages that UPVC comes with.
I'm sure there are good qualities of UPVC profile, but also there is an associated parameter, Ullas, that the lifespan is less because of the Indian condition, Indian context condition.
No, it's not like, I would like to say that it's not like that, because UPVC is being used for the last 20 years in India without any complaints coming in. India is a high UV region, and we need to have a very high good color fastness. We need to have good weather resistance. So UPVC profiles are checked for natural weathering, also for the artificial weathering, where a single test goes for 8,000 hours, continuous 8,000 hours of UV sunlight, water. So this is goes on at very high level data.
Interesting point. What about you, Sammy? What do you feel? Do you agree with what Ullas is saying? Are you already in sides of using UPVC now?
Concerning the points, also the same as aluminium, it's following standards, and it is tested according to all parameters, according to air tightness, water tightness, wind resistance. It is used in different parts of the world, from cold weather, starting from Germany, the country of Mario, to all Europe, then to all other parts of the world. And as by my personal experience as being in charge about Asia, I visited different countries with the different weathers. So the workability of and the rigidity of the aluminium, it's strong enough. And here I want to highlight one more point about talking about that only low-rise building or high-rise building. There is studies and growth of populations, and basically in India, we will have from now till 2050, majority of people living in a mega city. And mega city, the space became less and the city became vertical. That means we are going more in high-rise building. This is where we need a material where it can resist all of this part. Concerning the application inside the part, we have a wider application to cover all the requirements. They spoke little about the locking point in the previous sessions. I will have one more point that also for high pressures, we have also locking point, multi-locking point, corner drive, and in this case, we are able to catch the sash at different points and to resist the different performances. And as I said, the highest tower around in the world for the moment. All the towers coming around it in Dubai, they are subject to very high intensive wind load. And in such high-rise building, we are still using doors and windows, and they've been tested for a very intensive high pressure. So the resistance, it's the wind load, and also, as I said, resistance for the profile itself against burglary, against forced entry, against different factors inside when it will come to the design. So we are offering also the aluminium offering for the market, also a good products and applicable, and this is a product of the future.
Sammy, you mean to say that UPVC cannot be used for high-rise? Interesting pointer here for you, Satish. Do you think that, do you agree with Sammy that UPVC cannot be?
Well, when it comes to UPVC, we have done a couple of projects in Mumbai, which is 40 floors and above. Okay, it's not that it cannot be done for high-rise buildings. Okay, the challenge comes when the wind pressure is more than 3 kilopascal. Okay, that is where all the aluminium guys line up and say PVC is weak. Okay, you cannot compare a decathlon athlete with a wrestler. Okay, they are always testing against the strength and accusing that PVC needs steel reinforcement. But when it comes to performance, when it comes to durability, PVC is going a mile ahead. Okay? When it comes to any coating, okay, my friend Indradil mentioned that PVDF has got 25 years life and PVC life is 25 years. My friend, you are forgetting the plastics which you have been using for more than 40 years without any degradation. There have been records of plastics which, I mean, the whole concept of plastics being non-degradable and kind of being a pollutant is being a big debate across the world. So it is not that it is going to last for only 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. The oldest window, like Ullas mentioned.
What about fire ratings?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. When it comes to fire rating, we have to look at the standard. Okay, we are not talking about fire door. In case of fire door, even aluminum fails. The fire rated 60 minutes. Okay, you have to use a steel door. So when we are talking about fire, we have to look at what is the application. We are looking at a door window, which is externally allowing you the light to come in, which has got 90% of glass. So in case of a domestic fire, the first thing which is going to shatter is the glass. And Indranil mentioned about the temperature at which the PVC is going to start melt and give out fumes. And when you look at the domestic fires, rapidly the temperature goes up to more than 1000 degrees. At 1000 degrees, even aluminum is going to start to melt. And when we talk about the fumes which are going to come, the fumes from your LED television is more toxic than the framing material, which is going to probably leak after, even before that, it is going to evaporate. And today the concern about plastics is, I thought, at least we are in an intellectual debate. We are talking about LG plant which was using styrene, which was locked for 2 months due to the COVID. And then because of the restart, there was a leak. I mean, how can you compare styrene with PVC? Come on, let's talk about the product which is meant for a longer life.
Indranil, on this point, Indranil, that was counter to you. So
we have to have an intellectual debate. We cannot compare two different plastics. I mean, when you talk about plastics, there are a huge variety of plastics. Okay, and PVC is the third largest used plastic. And PVC windows, like my friend Sammy mentioned, okay, when it comes to thermal insulation, you need plastics. You're using ABS as a thermal break. So you can't escape. So when you're using a thermal break window and if there is a fire, is it okay?
By the way, it is a polyamide. It is polyamide, not ABS.
It's a polymer. It's a polymer.
Yeah, it's a polymer. Yeah.
Plastic.
And
so when you compare styrene with PVC, it's okay. But when polyamide and PVC is not the same, is it? So styrene and PVC is also not the same, right?
Please allow us to reply.
We have to have
let's talk about.
Let's have a proper intellectual debate.
Please allow us to debate.
Yeah. If I can mention one point.
Let me come in one point.
Concerning the needs.
I didn't interrupt.
So many points. Can we counter it, please?
No, one point.
Let me complete. Yeah. I didn't interrupt when you were commenting. So let me complete my point. Okay. There are a lot of points which are raised. So I've touched upon the fire. I've touched upon the strength of the profile. I would like to also touch upon the point which is raised that when it comes to sliders, okay, there are systems where we use aluminium, where we are using PVC also. Okay, it is not that we have to use metal. We use metal because the surface gets corroded or because people are using it, people are stamping on it. So replacement becomes easier. Okay, the same thing applies to your aluminium window. There are a lot of aluminium systems where you're using steel railing. Why? Because you can replace it. Maintenance becomes easier. So it's the same concept here.
Satish, sorry. Let me now come back and throw the point, because we have been now discussing about UPVC aluminium as a material. Let's go to the core point of this topic of application. Kamlesh, you want to talk about that? Why aluminium as application?
Just one point. As a clarification concerning fire-rated door, yes, they can be done in aluminium, and they can achieve
how many minutes?
Of 60 minutes, EI 60 minutes. This is as a clarification.
Okay, let Kamlesh take it over, Sammy.
So Satish, we've been talking about good to know very interesting points about the eco-friendly thing. We all know that how much we hate PVC or plastic in this world. Today, we are all together to eliminate the plastic from this entire earth. So when we are talking about eco-friendly things, see, aluminium is an eco-friendly material. Aluminium is indefinitely recyclable. When you recycle, it creates very high quality new aluminium. And the process uses only 5% of energy needed to create the initial metal, whereas aluminum is 100% recyclable, reusable. This makes the material more environment friendly and sustainable building material. Whereas if you look at, production, recycling and disposal of UPVC are the issues of environmental justice. Making UPVC windows takes 8 times more energy. It produces a good amount of climate changing CO2 compared to aluminum. A product that uses a non-renewable source can't be sustainable. Oil makes 53% of the raw material.
I'm sorry, Kamlesh.
I'm sorry, vice versa. Aluminium takes 7.5 times more energy to produce.
Let's take it is 100%. Let's take the silver lining. Aluminium is 100% recyclable and reusable. Whereas PVC is not.
So bauxite reserves are not infinite. They are not infinite.
Correct. So we are using it, Jatin. We are not using bauxite. When we are recycling, we are not using again. We are not going back to bauxite.
Let's hear from Mario. What's your counter, Mario?
So I want to counterpoint 2 points. As a point number 1 is when we talk about the stability, we know steel is has a much better moment of inertia than aluminium. I think to this point we all have to agree. And UPVC is not considered at all into strength. UPVC is the aesthetical surface for the steel which is inside. And there we are calculating accordingly to the wind pressure what kind of reinforcements we have to use. This is point number 1. Point number 2 is from the environmental point. We have research supported by universities that it takes 3 times more energy to produce aluminium, 3 times more aluminium consumes more water while digging it out. We have to start from the value chain. We are digging out the oil and we are digging out the aluminium from the soil. And that's why I have to recycle aluminium 3 times to come carbon neutral to UPVC, which would be 150 years. Also these are points which we can, of course, surely debate more in detail. Important is, yes, when we also talk about fire rating, then these are specific fire rated doors which are not installed in number Mr. Sharma's or Mr. XYZ house. These are special doors. Yes, in UPVC we don't have them, but a normal aluminium also don't have it. Also there we are mixing something. Hardware, we can't say that a Windows section purchased in a local shop, produced at site, will get the same performance like a wonderful thermal broken system from Hydro, from Technal. No chance. We have to evaluate. In this point, we have very taken care with Utmar from the beginning that 70% of our industry is organized. Where in aluminium, I would presume that 90% is still unorganized.
No,
No,
we cannot agree to that. We cannot agree to that. We cannot agree to that.
There is
just because
you
have an association, it doesn't mean that you are organized.
No,
Okay,
we are not talking about unorganized and organized.
Kamlesh, let me try to bring all of you to one thing. Let's talk about codes and performances, right? Indranil, to start with you, do you think UPVC has better codes when compared to aluminium system in this country today?
See, as far as what code is concerned,
Yes.
we actually most of the projects and most of the industry uses several codes, whether it is AMA codes or whether it is American standards or European standards or DEET standards.
I'm not talking generic aluminium system for the facade. I'm talking for the windows. Do you have? Does the aluminium manufacturers have a codes to manufacture aluminium windows? Like
we have to follow the National Building Code. We have a National Building Code in place.
National Building Code is not talking about aluminium or any framing material.
No, we are talking about, so there is no specific window code, just because you have UWD, MA or something, you cannot have a code.
Any association comes up with 5 system companies and gives a code, that doesn't
what is an association? Any 2 people meeting together can be an association. So I can be
11
A, B, C, D, and we can come out with any code.
So what new point is what do the fabricators today in India follow when it comes to aluminium system? Which codes?
So it is either ASTM or AMA or European standards is what is being followed, and we largely follow BS. British standards, because IS is based on British standards. So we are largely following British standards. which is
Okay,
very,
you-
very conservative.
You follow British standards, you follow ASTM, you follow NBC, and you follow maybe another code. So is it that it's allowed, it's like open field for anyone, whoever wants to put a window?
So
in
that's a very interesting debate that you are bringing up, Jatin, because in India, that standardization is yet to come. We still not have that situation, which is
Okay.
there. And every consultant, every architect, every fraternity who comes in has his own set of thought process, and we follow.
Let me-
Many
let me
tests have been done
Mario.
as per Australia and New Zealand in
So let me-
many of my projects.
Let
They've
me
asked me to do
Mario
Australia and New
here,
Zealand.
Mario represents as a president of UW, and you mentioned about association. So Mario, over to you on UPVC codes.
What I said, in the year 2007, 8, 9, we met for the first time. We have in the UPVC industry, we are following the EN 112608, which is defined a European standard. And now only because the Indian climate are different, we have changed the weathering condition, which is again based on physical things. Also, we are not talking on emotions, we are not talking on the air, and we are not talking to sweetening the product. We are really talking only on the technical ground, and based on the real radiation, we have made it. And I think Satish is the better one who can go there more in detail in terms of standard.
So when you talk about aluminum, we are following ASTM 330 and 331, which are the structural performance parameters for it. So wherever you're talking about codes, there is definitely a code which we all are referring to. So it cannot be that aluminum industry doesn't refer to a code or they don't work as per standards. You're just creating a situation where you
Let me
feel.
bring in Ullas here. Ullas, you want to put something?
When we talk about the codes, yes, there are international standards and then there are national requirements. So one Kamlesh mentioned as NBC, and then there we have a ECBC, Energy Conservation Building Code. And today we know energy is a big requirement. There they specify a U value of a window, okay, which is 3.3 watts per square meter. That's for a minimum, and then it goes to 2.4. A basic sliding window profile in UPVC will meet this requirement, whereas in aluminium, you have to go to a very high-end section, a thermal break section, which is taking support from the plastics to reach that value. A common aluminium is still far, far away to meet this energy requirement, number one. Number two, UPVC industry, when it started in India, it started with the standards. So we worked along with BIS to bring the standards. Yes, there is a process time which it takes. But then after we step in, after we have this standard in place, aluminium started to revise their window standards now, which were built in 1970s or 1980s. In between, they forgot the Indian standards, the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay. And now they are following the UPVC guidelines to come up with the level of the aluminium.
I don't agree to this. Sami, I think you can counter this.
I want to talk about many points. The first point is before touching the standard concerning the steel as rigidity between steel and aluminium. There is alloy. This is an answer to Mario. There is an alloy 6082 which can achieve the same performances as rigidity and hardness like the steel. Concerning the standards,
do you use it in architectural aluminium?
So you are not using steel in your building. So we are just telling you about the comparison.
You're talking about window performance.
Yeah,
so we are talking about window. Let's talk about 6063, not 6082.
6063, this is the alloy for aluminium. But while comparing steel used inside UPVC,
please let him speak.
The steel
we are talking about window. We are talking about window. Okay,
I'm talking about windows. I'm talking about windows.
Which is used in an aeroplane. I can also talk about plastics which is used in an aeroplane. Sorry,
I'm talking about
Sorry, I don't know where it is used. I can only see the aluminum aeroplane from outside.
Without plastics, the car which you're driving.
If you're talking about the microchips, I am okay with that.
The cabin in which you put your luggage is plastic, all plastic.
So without aluminum, what does it hold? You know, if there is no outer body, what does the cabin mean?
Aluminium.
Let's come back to windows.
The aircraft windows are again plastic. It's not aluminium.
I will be forced.
Anyway, we'll discuss it on a different thing.
And the second point. The second point concerning the standards, we are missing an important point that the system supplier is providing also all the techniques about the fabrication, assemblies, however, aluminium or PVC, and all these techniques that are built on standards. And when you talk about performances, to achieve these performances, when you will test it, you are testing according to some, even till now in India, there is no performances done locally for the testing. And all the labs are still using the international standards. And this is why you are using international standards. And as of those days, there is also an organization looking on standards for India looking for aluminium fenestration in addition to the facade and the other part. Going. But this will not mean that what was done the last 2 decades is something wrong. No, there is a good building and they are still available now. We can see it in all the states of India. They are done from aluminium and they are resisting.
Let me ask Satish to counter this point. Satish, I also want you to touch on another point of which Neil had pointed in his presentation about, and Sami also, about the sleekness which aluminium can give for the larger size, which UPVC might not give. So Satish, over to you.
Sure. Okay, there are a number of points which I want to touch upon, but okay, let me take your point about the sleekness. Okay, when we are talking about something which has to be carbon neutral, and on the other side we are looking at something which is huge 6 meter by 6 meter doors, which consumes more aluminium, more glass.
No.
So where is the carbon neutral we are talking about?
No.
Okay.
No,
In
we are
case
not
of
talking
a breakage,
Come on,
come on. When you talk about a material which has to be carbon neutral in today's times, when you have to look at sizes which is feasible. When we talk about this slimline series and these huge windows, how many such windows are happening?
100 houses.
Come on. Yeah, let's not throw numbers just for saying.
Just because.
No, I can prove it. I've done it.
Okay. 450 million square feet of jobs are being done today in India. Okay. So how much is it, this component of the slimline which is coming in? And when it comes to a slimline system, today, let us agree. Okay, first thing, let us agree that we are talking about aluminium system windows with the UPVC system window. We are not talking about the extrusions which are floating in the market. Yeah. Okay, when it comes to aluminium window systems, okay, how many companies are there which are following the standards, and what is the total volume which is there in today's market? Okay, 450,000 tons of aluminium is sold in India. Okay, out of this, how much is the aluminium window systems market? And let us compare with the PVC window system market, which I already said 75,000 tons. Out of that, 40 to 45,000 tons are coming from these 11 companies who are part of this association, who are abiding by the standards, who have jointly set up a training institute for the fabricators to understand how to make windows, how to install windows. Every year, we are doing training programs to educate the people and come with the right quality product. Okay, we are not just talking about just selling extrusions in the market. Every year, upgrading ourselves, upgrading the team, upgrading the fabricators, educating the developers. Okay, from 2008, we have been working with the BIS, and in this committee, the aluminium companies are also there. You can check with BIS how many companies have attended the meeting. Okay, from 2008 to 2020, UDMA has been the only association who has participated in every meeting called by the Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, when we are talking about a country, when we are talking about something for the country, where is the participation? Okay, we are talking about all international standards being followed, but it is not being applied downstream. If 5 companies are doing it,
Sorry, you are not aware about the meetings
industry
that we are having.
No, you are not having. Only this year, the working group was formed. I am involved from 2008. The working group 01 and working group 05 was formed this year. This year, this year the representation has been there. Okay.
No,
so
I don't agree to that.
We are neither informed, neither called. The association.
This is the biggest joke. This is the biggest joke. Hindalco, the biggest company in India.
Now you are talking about extrusions.
Now you are talking about extrusion. Now you are not talking about windows.
You talk about window system.
Aluminium industry. Aluminium is about a variety of products. It's
you talk about systems and then you talk about extrusion.
Facades. It is talking about aluminium. A lot of things.
Kamlesh, only windows. Can you talk as a system producer of aluminium window? Can you talk about aluminium windows?
I think Sami is going to talk on that. You can have. Yeah. He's been raising that hand.
The main question was raised about a system. It was raised about slave profile. The question of Satish.
Should I have
So I was saying that the raising of the question was concerning the design in a slim profiles. Slim profiles is a solution. If I'm talking about this to check what it will be used, we know that in the market there is a trend by the architect. It might pass by sometimes looking for bulky section, sometimes for slim section. At those days, as being in the design team, in the technical teams here in Hydro in Global, most of the trend is going now to get something slim, concealed sachets. This is the trend of the market, to get more exposure, less line from outside. This is from aesthetic point of view. If you have to answer the question of, it's not led by the market.
At what cost? At what cost? Is cost not important criteria for selecting a system window?
No, we already have
By the
system
way,
companies like
the
Shuko,
cost is the
Hydro,
same.
Technal with a slim, with a comfortable housing.
Maximal or minimal, they have the same cost. Maximal.
Remember, the kind of project which we are talking is only about 5 to 10% of the overall project which is happening for the residential market there possibly.
No,
So
we are talking about affordable homes. Jatin, we are talking about affordable homes where we have systems from Technal, we have systems from Shuko. There are Indian developed systems. Shuko is the largest system supply in the world. Technal is a leader. They are the largest aluminum company in the world. And they have developed systems for this typical market. It has not been, we don't have any system. So for affordable housing, we have a large
affordable housing is still using the 18mm series, which was introduced by Indal Alcan system. Okay.
No, I think
sorry, I should not even call it
the market need education. The market is changing and still need education to start to use the double glazed and to start, because in some parts you can see
let us come to this point.
They are still using single glass. What is the benefit from single glass? If you talk about efficiency, it's always an integrity all together. And if we have to talk also about Technal's international system, and we are one of the top of the list of the system suppliers, and concerning the footprints, Hydro as a major group of the biggest supplier of raw material of billet and aluminium. Now we are producing, we put in the market two types of billets, the Redoxa 4 and the Circal R75. The Redoxa 4, that means there is a footprint as 4 kg of CO2 by kg of aluminium. It's produced from clean energy, what we call it from hydraulics. And most of the press in the groups in Europe start to divert to this kind of production. And also the Circal, we are able to provide recyclable aluminium by, at the end life of the products, we are recuperating this and we are producing this and put it again live in the part. And the footprint for the Circal, it's 2.3. If I'm talking about kg by of CO2 by kg of aluminium. We are well organized for that, and we are almost neutral in the production as Hydro, as I can say. It was their target 2020, and almost they reached it within this part by using the clean energy. And the one more point concerning the zero energy buildings, and we're talking about energy in the building overall. We can say that belong the group as Technal or as Hydro. There is many buildings around the world. They are zero energy building, and one of them, it was the previous headquarter of Technal in India, in Bangalore. It was zero energy buildings. So as a contribution, the aluminium also can achieve also good thermal performances, good design and aesthetics, and also it provides also less resources to implement more and more the recyclability. And it's a pioneer, Hydro, in this one, and they are educating how we are able to start to use recyclability and to produce this material. And many projects in Middle East, the first project was done in Kuwait, for Kuwait Oil and Gases Company. It was done from recyclable material, and in recyclable material we're providing billets from, this is a push to get a green building, what we call it a green building. So aluminium is also an important market, and I hope that this is all implemented to India. In India we have Hydro, they have a press also in India for the production, and we have also fabricators. And as I said, it will take maybe a little time because India now, on the population, the mass population is in India. So the future, it will be also in Indian market, besides the other market around the world.
Sammy, let me go to Indranil. He wants to add a few points on design and pre-construction, etc. on UPVC windows and aluminum.
See, when we are talking about organized market, yes, definitely when the UPVC guys are targeting our unorganized sector, and there are unorganized sector in UPVC market also, and they are not UPVC at all, they may be PVC also. There are lacunas at the bottom of every industry. But if you see how aluminum system industry or bespoke system industry has evolved, we have testing centers in India. Whenever there are projects, we prove our systems, take our clients, we test our systems, we prove themselves even on the testing rig. We have testing rigs in India. We can prove. We are not only showing papers of tests, we also prove it here. These are the organized way of testing and organized way of proving, which we have it in India. another thing which I wanted
Is
to
it
point
that
out.
if we have to use an aluminium?
Beg your pardon?
Sorry
Stop
for
here.
interjecting. Do you mean that if we have an aluminium, if we have to
We're
use
not able to hear you.
Jatinji,
aluminium
there's a
window,
network
do you
problem
mean
at
say
your
that
end.
we go to aluminum?
There's a network problem at your end, Jatinji. If you can just repeat the question, I think.
Can you please repeat the question?
No problem. You please continue.
Okay, please,
Yeah.
continue until
So
he will
my,
get
my
started.
point.
I think
my one-
Jatin is back.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's back.
so Indranil, my point to you was that do you mean to say that if we have to use an aluminium window, we only have to use a system supplied aluminium window? Because today it's only
We can't hear you, Jatinji, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
So another point which I wanted to make is about the fire. I understand there are products which are fire rated, but my question and what I have experienced also in various places where I put up apartments is that when the fire starts, what happens immediately? I am not talking about when it reaches 1000 degree temperature. What happens immediately?
Indranil, please don't be inside the building when there is a fire. So
No, you
can't
don't
give
know.
This
personal
is your
You
answer.
don't know,
So
Satish.
this is your
So
answer.
if this is your answer,
Come
then
on,
if you
This is
put
your answer.
UPVC windows,
UPVC,
and if there is a
explanation
fire,
of
you don't
when
be
you put
inside.
your UPVC window, when there is a fire, please run away.
You
It is
are-
going to
you
catch
are-
fire. That is your answer.
You need to create
No,
certain
you are
barriers.
quoting as
You
if
need
you
to
are
create
inside
certain
the building
barriers.
and there is a fire.
Safety is of prime
My
importance.
advice, if there is a fire, don't be
Oh
inside.
God. How
This
can
is
you
the
do
answer. The answer is out.
The
The
UP,
answer is out. When the fire ignites,
Let-
you have to be always aware. The
It's
fire
not a
ignites.
Diwali,
UPVC
it's
window.
not a Diwali flower pot.
Let
That
Mario.
PVC window is not a Diwali flower pot.
Counter this point. Mario, do you want to counter this point?
See,
Mario.
people will not die of the fire, but people will die of the
Die of the
toxic
smoke.
gases.
Kamlesh, let Mario counter this point. Mario.
so what we had already in the point of fire, what we had also a couple of minutes already spoken. First, practical. First, the glass breaks, frame material is irrelevant. UPVC melts. It just melts down. It don't support the fire. You will not get a flame out of it. Where aluminium after 1000 degree, the hot drops are supporting the fire as well.
Satish already told you have to go out.
Satish.
already mentioned you have
Yeah,
to go out.
you want to
No,
stay inside.
You
Come
don't
on,
have to
what is-
wait till
what is-
1000
if there is-
Important
if
point.
there is
I have an
fire,
important
if there
point.
is a fire, are you
So
An
advising
important
to wait till
question.
1000 degrees? To be
We
inside
don't
the
have
building.
fire-rated
Putting-
systems. We
Please
don't have
decide among yourselves.
don't have fire-rated fenestration systems across the world. Across the world, we don't have fire-rated fenestration system. We are talking on emotion, which is not right. Rated fenestration fire system are fire doors. There is no rating system on external window and doors, either in UPVC or in steel or in wood. These are special systems for special application, which is not installed in any of the common houses as on date in India.
There is a general property which is there. There is an inbuilt property
Building code
in
doesn't
terms
cover these
about-
aspects for a fire rated door to be installed as a general door or window system.
So we are not talking about the fire rating. There is a general inbuilt property which
Yeah.
is there.
Sir,
Windows.
Sir,
they
let us
themselves
talk about
let
have
us
general
make it-
property.
Let us talk
more
about a
soft.
code.
Let us make it more
Let us
soft.
talk.
How many
Let us
people
talk.
are living
Let us
in
talk.
how many people are living in a building more than 10 stories or 20 stories? Okay, it can be maybe aluminum or PVC, the normal aluminum or the normal PVC in the building. But in the fire escape zone, the staircase as an example, it has to be something to avoid that the fire will reach this zone, to evacuate the buildings. So in this part, yes, maybe the only solution will be for the SAC to be as an aluminum solution.
Steel, usually steel, 90% steel. I agree 100%.
No,
Wherever
we are doing aluminum. It will be done. It will be done aluminum. Yeah, it will
I
be
just
done.
want to put in one point here that Indranil was saying
We have
that
many audience that are architects, and the architects they know that when
In
they
a-
specify
in a-
their building, they specify the time for the evacuation. And this time, yeah.
Let's go by a code. Okay, the code for fire is EN 13501, and PVC is qualifying as per that as a building material for doors and windows.
Yes.
Okay,
Even-
we can
even
beat
BS
around
yes,
the bush
BS
about the.
476
But if
also
you
it is
go strictly
qualified.
as per the code, okay,
See, you see all over the world,
476
people are
is
replacing
giving the
ACP.
flame.
Satish,
Yes.
people are replacing
Sir, let us
ACP,
not,
which is plastic.
Let's
let me ask you one
let's
thing.
not
Let
go
me ask-
rhetoric. Let's
Satish.
not have the rhetoric. Let's go as per the
Satish.
code. As per the code, EN 13501, PVC qualifies as a building material for doors and windows.
Okay,
So
Satish.
does ACP. So does
propagation.
ACP. When you look at the
Sir,
alucobond composite panels or the
Let me-
alu or
Sir,
the
please do
aluminium
not degrade
composite panel.
alucobond.
No,
Let me-
it's not
Don't degrade
alucobond. It's
alucobond.
about
Okay.
it's about
Yeah.
aluminium
No.
composite panel.
We are
So
not-
does they have
aluminium
the codes.
composite panel.
But if you
So
see
you should not be
worldwide,
using-
there is a
you should not
complete
be using
restriction
thermal
on
break.
using alucobond panel or I'm not alucobond but aluminium composite
See,
panels. They've been
a
all
common
replaced
man
with
is
solid
completely
If a
aluminum
common
sheets.
man wants to buy a window, will he go and ask for codes and then check whether that UPVC, which is system market,
When we
system
get
UPVC.
them to the code, then they talk about
So-
the common man. When we
No,
say
no.
the common
So I am
man has
asking,
got
in
affordable
case of a
market
common man,
product,
Codes
then
are
they
there
say
for
common man,
everything.
if he buys
Please
a common
understand.
aluminium,
So-
it will not.
so let's
it will
talk
not
about the
happen.
code.
But
Let's
talk
in
about
case
the
of
code.
UPVC, he has to go through the codes and then
Okay.
put his window.
Sir,
In the
you
one
raised
second.
the point about the fire. When you're talking about
Satish,
fire, let's
Satish.
talk about the code.
Satish, one second, guys. Let me now start asking all of you. I will start with Sami. Give me 5 points why I should use aluminium and not UPVC. Then I will come to last. Let me start with Sami. 5 points.
For aesthetics, we can achieve all the design because there is
Aesthetics.
no
Aesthetics.
aesthetics, stability,
Stability.
achieve high performances for air, water, and wind load.
Is it better than UPVC?
Yes.
Yes, in some cases, yes. If you are talking about high pressure,
Okay.
yes, it will sustain better. Then concerning the thermal break, we can achieve good performances knowing that PVC it's a good.
Okay, thermal break. Fifth.
Yeah, and also as acoustics, all the fittings in the aluminium are coming inside the groove. The play in this part will be less, so we can get because the sound will come from the joinery more than
Okay.
glass
Understood.
profile contribute and also acoustics.
Thank you, Sami. So 5 points. Ullas, over to you. Your 5 points. Why should we use UPVC?
Yes, all 5 points what Sami mentioned is achievable with UPVC. Apart from it, the strength, the safety part, the security part.
Strength, safety, security.
Yes, the thermal insulation, energy conservation part, right from the beginning to the end use of the product, and it is coming from a factory. So it is not made as side product.
Factory produce and
Factory produced product. Yes.
So is aluminium.
Indranil, over to you. Indranil, over to you. 5 points.
See, the most important thing is when you develop an extrusion, you need to develop a die. The time developing an aluminium die and the design and the thickness, what we can come down to, that cannot be achieved by UPVC. Please take it.
Flexibility. He's talking
Yes.
about flexibility.
Aesthetics, right? One is
Aesthetics.
possibility
Second
of
is-
developing dyes, right? Second,
Nice. Second is the testing things available. See, in India and
testing.
in worldwide, worldwide, you get what you inspect. You don't get what you expect. Okay? So what we are giving, we are inspecting, we are showing it, we are proving it. We are talking about organized versus organized sectors.
Okay,
Now we
third
are
point.
talking about organized versus organized
Indranil,
sectors.
third point, Indranil. Yeah.
Third point is thermally broken. See, thermally broken, the UPVC strip is very less, but we can achieve far much sound and heat resistance more than what the UPVC gives.
Okay.
Then about the machinability. See, for fixing hardwares or fixing of strength, aluminium has its own strength, which PVC has to make it rigid with steel. As Mario said, we are putting up steel, and it appears that the windows are all steel windows cladded with UPVC.
Okay. Fifth point. Last point.
Last point is definitely India. In Indian context, we are colorful people, you know, so we require colors. We cannot be only depending on few colors and specifically white. Yes, I am very white, but color is the feature.
Okay. Colors.
Holi hai or Diwali hai.
Lot of colors available, which is not the case with UPVC. That's what Indranil says. 250 RAL colors available, which is not available with UPVC. Mario, over to you.
5 points. Number one is our corners are just welded. They are watertight, 100%. We don't have to put glue, silicone. We are using silicone in all the aluminium windows to make the corners tight. Our points
No, this is wrong.
100% no water leakage. Number two is surface. We do have an organized sector of providing us hundreds of different foils, which are tested primarily in laboratories to give us 15 or 25 years without discoloration. And they are provided by the system provider. As by the Hill system provider like Technol in aluminium, I would get the complete surface treatment done so that in terms of warranty guarantee, I have a single source of contact. I don't buy a mill finish and then I do the foiling myself. No, the profile is getting provided from the system provider. Next question is again, we do have across the European world 50% market share in this product. This product has every second window is made out of it. Heat insulation, thermal insulation, acoustics, in Guldan, Lila Hotel, installed curtain wall, aluminium, lots of noise problem. Lingle had to interfere to provide a new PVC solution to make the inner room to the noise proof what the customers for the 5-star hotels was actually looking for. Energy conservation, of course, with 1.3 at the normal energy loss, U value, I think this is undebatable. This we are even not reaching in the thermal broken aluminium only if we are going to put their forms and other things inside.
I'll tell you, there are, I will straight away go to the point where Mario is saying about the Leela Hotel. We have the Taj Hotel at Mumbai Airport, which is with aluminium windows, and it is bang onto the airport where you have got 90 dB coming in from the aircrafts. So basically, your point regards to Leela Hotel gets counted over there.
That's a problem with the acoustic guy, not with the system.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
it's a combination.
My 5 points would be. First point would be very important point is locally available. We are local material. We are strength and performance. We are eco-friendly material. Maintenance, we are very low on maintenance when it comes to maintenance. When you talk about the joints, there has to be a third element when it comes between the two PVC joints. So it could be a possible, whereas in aluminium, if you don't have that third element coming in. So if you look at security and safety, you cannot have a bulletproof window, or you cannot have a resistant window into it. And it is contributing to the economy. To me, whatever contributes to the economy is the most important thing. So these are my 5 points onto it. Lastly, it is the architect's choice. The aluminium material or the window. Are you going to make buildings only with windows? You don't want to add any sunshades. You don't want to add any cappings. You don't want to add any cutters on this. How are you? Just imagine buildings with only windows. Are you going to have box buildings? I don't think that's an architect's dream. So we are fulfilling architects and clients' dreams.
Good, Kamlesh. Sorry.
One more point.
Yes, I mean, last point.
There is also flexibility in the maintenance. If there is any glass breakage, we can just remove the glazing bead and you can replace it. But if we have to get in some cases, some bonding around the glass to keep the stuff, because the bead in UPVC, it's not reinforced. The outer profile is reinforced. So in this case, if they have to glue it or to bond it, they have to replace the full sash. And if they were not bonded, it will be a problem.
We have tested 4.5 kPa pressure. No difference.
What size? I can do 1 foot by 1 foot.
We can do a small window. You are talking about big sizes.
And you can easily replace. The glass by changing the bead.
We can do 1 foot by 1 foot for 20 kPa.
Kamlesh,
I'm talking of standard size windows.
To Satish, your 5-6 points. Last over. After that, we go for voting.
Okay. The first and the foremost, I would say, is the durability of the product. Okay, once installed, forget it. You don't have to maintain. The second is when it comes to performance. With the minimum effort, you're getting the better performance in terms of wind resistance, in terms of air tightness, in terms of water tightness. Okay. Third, you don't have problems of the noise rattling. Okay, one is the external noise. Second is the window by itself rattling. Okay, in case of PVC, because of the rigidity of the steel inside, you don't have the rattling noise. Okay, please, I did not comment when you people were talking. Please allow me to talk freely. Okay,
please
allow
Satish to talk. Please allow him.
Yeah. So first, durability. Second is the performance. Third, I would say when it comes to energy, we have a better rated product with a simple insulated glass with low E coating or with a high performance glass, you can get a U value which is about 1.4 easily, and you can get less than 1 with a little more effort. You can get today with the system which is available in India. Okay, I'm not talking about some system which has to be imported from Germany, but with the system which is available in India, you can achieve 1.4, less than 1 easily. That means you can be in a net zero or go to a passive housing easily without much effort in PVC. Okay. And lastly, I would say when it comes to the fabrication, all the fabricators need a certain set of machines to make the window. So the window results are much, much better. So there is no filing of the edges. There is no problem because the edges are being welded. You get, end of the day, you get a better performing, better looking window any day. Okay, you can go to a lot of buildings. You can go to the ITC hotel in Chennai, which is a 7-star rated building. You can see the corners are leaking. Okay, you can see the.
You can go to Mr. Ambani's house and see Antilia. Satish.
Okay.
Sir,
you can go to Mr.
I think
Ambani's
Mr.
house and
Kamlesh,
see.
after today's debate, I think you will not be allowed.
Let's not get
Reliance
political.
is the biggest producer of PVC in India.
Please understand.
You are
talking about Mercedes car, and someone goes and bangs it. Are you going to put Mercedes into the whole situation that the car is not safe? No, somebody has to drive it. They don't have a PMC like Colliers. They don't have a PMC like Colliers.
Thank you, Kamlesh, for this. But let's stop this. We had a very interesting debate, and I would say that every one of you participated very well, put forth all the points. I'm sure the participants got to have noted down a lot of good, interesting points. At least I learned a few more new things which I was not aware of it. So let's. I enjoyed this session. I hope all of you also. So let us again have the voting coming up so that let the participants.
Satish will celebrate. Don't worry. Guns and roses. Yeah, we have Guns and Roses.
Antilia mein entry band hai aapka.
Kamlesh, the problem is the biggest
producer of PVC. Can we have the voting line opening up? And participants, please start putting your questions also on a Q&A box. Let's vote, guys. We had very good, interesting points for UPVC, against UPVC, for aluminium and against aluminium. It was a good learning session.
Yeah, it was really good learning.
And I'm sure we all will carry good points home.
I think this was the loudest webinar ever seen during the lockdown, right? Also, this is confirmed that so far no one could achieve this.
Loudest debate session. Someone wrote on the chat box that Arnab should have been here. Not me. Okay. What are the results?
Let them vote.
Give them little time.
It's an examination. The second point, second exam. Wow. So 1% UPVC has gone down. Last time it was 41%. Now they've gone down to 40%. Good news, aluminium guys. We are slowly progressing, but you are still not at 100%. So half the world in the country still want UPVC. That's over to you. And guys, let's start putting more questions for the red team and blue team, which we can take up at the Q&A session. I will now take to the last topic of this debate session or debate series, which is, we have spoken a lot about design stage, and at a lot of this previous session, there were a lot of emphasis which was made on fabrication. There was emphasis made on performances. From an Indian context, which is more labor oriented still, right? And we also understand that aluminium window sector is highly unorganized, and we still have good organized sectors in aluminum systems also. Not so much in UPVC, I might be wrong. But point here is that from an Indian context, what do you think we should use, UPVC window or aluminium windows, when it comes to fabrication, when it comes to automation of the factories, when it comes to skill set which is available to install the factories, install the windows, specifically when a lot of retrofits are happening. Retrofit is a big scale in this country today, where people replace their windows, right? So over to you guys. Let me start asking that with the biggest and largest, possibly the contractor of this country, Kamlesh. Over to you.
So, as you rightly said, that retrofitting is the most interesting thing happening now and the most requirement. But as we are going matured, let us also understand that every society or in every building, what people are trying to do is maintain to its original requirement. So if at the initial stage, if the building has an aluminum window, they would definitely try to maintain that as keep the aesthetics same, because from outside the building has to look similar. You cannot have different situation coming in on the building. So that's a very, very important point. As regards to the installation and fabrication, you have the system companies and we have our own systems wherein you have the BIM modeling, the Revit, which the architects can go through, can have their own windows, designs, go through the entire walkthrough, and that entire thing can be transferred directly sitting in your office directly to your CNC machine, which Satish will agree. He has already sold so many machines to us, which has got direct CNC to the, from our office to. So we're talking about aluminium. We're talking about aluminium. So, so you need to understand that we are already into the digital mode. It would not be correct to say that a 55% market share is not organized. We are organized and we are doing a larger piece. Second thing, when you look at our factories, they are most of our factories, aluminum factories, have got European machines. We are not relying on the Chinese, or we are not looking at cheaper machines, which deliver good quality.
I'm sorry, Kamlesh, we are running short of time. We are already close to 1 o'clock, so we have to do it really quickly. Mario,
I'm already done with that.
Mario, over to you quickly.
Yeah. In terms of the education and skills, as I said, 15 years ago, nothing was existing, and we got the fabrication from the site towards the factory. And there we also understood from around 20 fabricators, which we had in the year 2006. Today, we have more than 1,000 running and 1,500 factories across the country in place. And there with our current, or the initiative for Satish also already described, that we are giving trained workforce to the factories, so that we only know who is trained on the product and who knows how to make the window is the person who is going to get to make the first window in place. Retrofit, of course, what I was also in the previous debate, the color range, what we have, either there's a wooden window when we go in old societies, the wooden windows are installed, going into newer societies, maybe aluminum windows in white or in black color installed, what was the demand or what was the situation around 10, 15 years ago. All these colors and designs can be easily matched while keeping the new parameters of non-rattling, of noise proof and noise reduction, whatever is demanded by the customer can be supplied. As I said, 1,000 factories across the country are ready to serve the best to our Indian customers.
Sammy.
So my quick one would be to understand is why all the UPVC companies are introducing aluminum systems.
It's the same. Otherwise, also aluminum guys are also introducing.
No. We are talking about systems.
No.
The
Jatin, you have to be neutral on this now. That's a big debate. That's a big debate. Why is
they are not able to
UPVC
sustain.
getting into a sector?
They
are not able to sustain.
Sammy, over to you.
All this discussion, it's leading to get at the end the best quality produced from the factory. So for this one, as Hydro Group and as Technal, we are offering in the market all our fenestration in a BIM model, 3D, and also parametric. It can be used by the architect in the design initially, and when it will be passed to the fabricator, we have another platform. They can link this 3D models or this BIM models to the software platform, which can give the cutting list, the part list. It can give all the drawings for the part, and it will also generate the comments to the machinery, to the CNC machines. And in this case, we can get with this, what we call it, the starting of digitalization, and we hope that it will be integrated in India. It will provide a full sequence to provide the best quality and to get the end product for the end user matching with the initial design. And for sure, with this process, we are able also, as Technal, we have technicians which can support the fabricator if they want to organize their factory. We are providing for them all the techniques. As an example, recently we start what we call it window wall. It's a production of ready fabricated windows inside the factory as a strips. And this one we are sharing all our technology and our know-how within our documentations to achieve at the end the best quality and offered for the end user.
Okay. Last, why UPVC?
Yes. all the things which is given by the aluminum system companies is offered by UPVC. Digitalization, BIM models, connection to the CNC, it's quite common also in UPVC. The main thing is the fabrication site starts with the right selection of machines, not done at factory, but not done at site, but at factory. Right system, because UPVC is majorly the system suppliers, and then the execution at site. So even the installation holes are done at factory for UPVC. So to that extent, the work is done at factory, and at site it's just the installation part. Number two, it's a lot of knowledge sharing is given. So not just the system supplier companies, but also as a UDMA, though the standards are taking its time, we have given our standard codes of practice for the use of UPVC for making the windows. These are available on UDMA website, so it can be referred by anybody, the users, the specifiers, or the competitors.
Indranil, how much of aluminum window panels are imported in India as on date? That's one of the points from Mr. Vimal in the chat box.
Aluminum panels as such, window, I think hardly anything. Nothing, I can say nothing. Probably some at some places they might have imported, but that didn't work out. In India, what the UPVC gentlemen are speaking that we are only doing in not doing in factory is not true. Satish knows me since 2000. I have not worked any of my sites. I have not worked at any of my sites. We have machines. We are working at machines. Only thing is, since our market is big, if you see about the percentage, 50% market. So in the 50% market, if many fabricators are working in factory and many percentage of people are working at site also, so you actually see many people working at site. But in consideration of PVC market, which is 25%, probably if the number of people working at the factory is more, so it appears that they are more organized. Second is about the corner joints which they are fitting. Joinery is the most important thing, and we have choices of joinery. Crimping, we can go for nailing, we can go for adjustable corner kits. There are lots of technologies. Everybody knows it, and we are all using it. We are using it at a standard right now, which I can prove, and which Kamlesh ji can vouch on, that we are at a stage that we can import to all the European countries, sticking to their standards of fabrication and supply it from India. So
we are already doing it
with the technology.
I
Absolutely.
think UPVC market is also
and US, and recently India is supplying to US, and I can say many fabricators in India shipping to US, and we are doing many with Indian fabricator in US.
Yeah, but from say a 10% to today, 25% UPVC market is growing at a very phenomenal rate.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. We allow everyone. In India, we allow everyone to come and do business. We love everyone.
It's a big market. There is place for everybody. Yeah, place for everybody.
I want to make a last statement. Satish said, how many high-rise building? In my last thing, I pointed out the average age of Indians is around 30. And when they get married soon, they would require apartments to stay. They will not stay in bungalows. They will not stay in low-rise building. The market is high-rise. And the PVCs are good, very good in Rajasthan, Delhi, and all those people. You know what Arnab Goswami says to these things? They are Luthians. So my project is, yes, they are very good in the Luthians market. Agree to it, because we are not able to reach both B2B or B2C, because there is so high demand for organized sector of aluminum windows that probably we are not able to reach and compete UPVC. That is the problem. That is the reason they are increasing. That is the reason they are increasing.
Okay. Satish, over to you. We have only 2 minutes left, Satish. Yeah.
Indranil's dialogue is like, the Indian cinema is only Bollywood. Okay? When you look at the other industry which is doing much better than the Bollywood. Okay, anyways, we're coming to the fabrication technology available today in the Indian market. In PVC from the very beginning has adopted machines and technology. Okay. We have 5 software companies now today operating in India, and this has happened because of the boom in the window industry. Okay, be it aluminium or PVC, together as a window industry, the software has come into play. And when you look at the adaptation of the PVC, today you can go to Window Maker or to EVA, which is an Indian company. 700 of EVA and 500 of Window Maker users are from PVC. It means out of the 1,500 window producers of PVC, more than 1,200 are already using a software for automating their estimation, automating their cutting list for their bill of materials. And more than 50 companies have come to a stage where they can connect from the software to the machines. So when it comes to the fabrication, I can say the PVC industry has adopted much earlier. Though aluminum systems came to India in 1996 and the PVC industry started to take off in 2004-5, the adaptation of technologies in the PVC has been much faster. Okay, we can talk about BIM, we can talk about machine control, we can talk about software. In every segment, PVC has overtaken aluminum when it comes to technology adaptation. Okay, so I think in the end, for an end user, what he requires is a good quality window at a moderate rate, which PVC today is able to provide, and with all the bells and whistles PVC can offer.
Okay, thank you. I think very nice points which came across in the session too. Unfortunately, we are exceeded our time. So I would like to ask the participants to do the voting for one final time. And we hope, let's see who is going to win the third and the last round. Mohit ji, over to you. Let's have the results. Let's give them a second more and then let's have the results. Results are coming up. Let's see. It remains the same, 59% and 41%.
As it means whoever has joined, the opinion was prefixed, okay, clear.
So it was really wonderful. May I now request Anupma Sharma, who is our special invitee. Anupma is Managing Director of Gensler India, and as an experienced architect, she will help us to bring a very good insight on what should be the preference of end user. Over to you, Anupma, for having to summarize this debate series, please.
Thank you, Jatin, and a very good afternoon to everyone. We've just heard a very animated and informative debate on the pros and cons of the two systems, UPVC and aluminum. A big thank you to the proponents of the two systems. But I'm not here to vote for any one system or the other today. I leave that to the audience, and I think the audience has done a great job of that already. Well, looking at this purely from a design perspective, though, I want to say that a facade is the outer skin of a building, and it is the main expression of a building. The architecture and vocabulary of a facade is unique for every building. And the facade of a building gives us the first clue when it tells us that the structure has something special to offer or not. So a cool facade is a representation of the architect's creative vision and desire to impress with something unique and out of the ordinary. So facades, being the outer envelope of our buildings, are very much like the skin on our bodies. They need to breathe, they need to be watertight, they need to insulate, they need to enable daylight penetration, they need to mitigate pollution and glare, heat gain, and so on. In this context, I think materiality and selection of appropriate facade systems becomes very important. So today we heard proponents of the two different facade systems highlight the pros and cons of each system. I think each system has its unique advantages and disadvantages, and it's really tough to say at this stage which is significantly better than the other. One system, so I'll just quickly summarize, what we heard. One system, being lightweight, is very easy to maintain, has high thermal insulating properties with higher energy efficiencies, is relatively less expensive, it's a good substitute for wood, and belongs to a market sector that is perhaps relatively more organized. Although we know we heard the counter to that very strongly. However, it does have a cradle to grave life cycle. That is, it is not a recyclable material and does eventually wear out over the years, even though it does offer a fairly long lifespan. On the other hand, the other system has the advantage of higher strength, perhaps greater flexibility in terms of offering slimmer and a broader range of profiles, and is more durable, but is not necessarily a thermally insulating material. It requires thermal bridging, which makes the system more expensive. The advantage with this material is its cradle-to-cradle life cycle properties. That is, its ability to be completely recycled at 5% of the original energy. So even though the energy that goes into its extraction and manufacture is significantly high, at about 54 megajoules per kg, which is substantial, thus giving it very high levels of embodied energy, its recyclable capabilities potentially help to amortize the embodied energy over its extended lifespan. The fact that it's continuously can be recycled. So the hope is that that embodied energy gets amortized over these lifespans. However, I will qualify that by saying that someone does need to do the math on this to clearly ratify that statement. Therefore, from a design perspective, we feel that each system is unique and integral to the building industry and may be here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. In terms of some of the broad challenges faced by us as designers and architects in the facade and construction industry, I would like to touch upon a few. Scheduling being one of them. So I feel facades play a key role in the timely completion and handover of buildings. And we find that projects invariably go off schedule due to the inordinate delays that are related to fabrication and installation of facades. More often than not, these delays are tagged with budgets and available cash issues, as well as issues related to on-the-ground expertise. Then there are quality issues related to dilution in design and detailing, dilution of accessories, as a result of which facade systems don't work properly, and other issues that are created by a largely disorganized market sector. There are challenges related to technology adoption. Now, technology can assist with design, detailing, fabrication, and erection significantly. Technology can also reduce heavy dependence on labor and therefore mitigate some of the impacts due to the lack of skilled labor that we face in the Indian market. Lastly, in terms of some of the industry benchmarks for facade design in today's context and using sustainability as a driver, we can look at a few examples. Biophilia, which is becoming increasingly popular in facades. A good example being the ExxonMobil campus in Texas, for example. We can look at algae-powered facades, for example, the BIQ building in Hamburg. We can look at UV filters with operable windows, which is very relevant in today's context with the pandemic. And a good example of this being the PNC Plaza in the US. And then a very different example being the Shanghai Tower, which is a 632-meter tall iconic structure with a triple glazed facade, with the facade playing a key role in offering daylight penetration, insulation, as well as bringing in fresh air into the building mechanical systems, thus creating a humane and environmentally friendly indoor environment for the building occupants. So I'm going to keep it short because I know we are significantly over time. In conclusion, I'd like to say that as proponents of facade systems from the world of design, I would like to strongly advocate that we keep our pulse on relevant technologies and processes that take us closer to facade systems that are environmentally sustainable in the long run, have a minimal carbon footprint, as also at ways to address some of the key challenges faced by the construction industry in terms of quality, scheduling, fabrication, and installation. So be it UPVC or aluminum, any system that better addresses some of these key concerns automatically would then become the system of choice for the building industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. I think to summarize, both are the winners, whether it's aluminum or UPVC. Nicely summed up by Anupama. Thank you so much, Anupama. I have only 5 minutes more, and I would just take 5 questions. First one to Indranil. According to durability, which is the best material you think, sir, UPVC or aluminum?
For me, naturally, aluminium.
Okay, Satish, over to you. What is the average tensile strength of UPVC which are used for doors and windows? Average tensile strength.
See, when it comes to strength, we are taking the steel inside for the strength. Like I said in my speech, you cannot compare a decathlon athlete with a wrestler. Okay. So when it comes to performance, when you are scoring in every area, the only area where we need the strength is the wind resistance, and that is where we are using the steel reinforcement, or we are using aluminum interlock to add to the strength of the window. Okay. So end of the day, it is a performance. In terms of performance, we can offer different solutions for any kind of a situation.
Sammy, over to you. In India, we still don't have testing for reaction to fire, EN 12101 for windows or ventilators. This is also important to life safety aspect. In the UK and EN, this is a standard which goes to harmonize testing for vents for windows, aluminum, UPVC, thereby giving us a safer product to market. Should India have it or not? Your thoughts?
I think yes. Nevermind is stopping to get this type of laboratory, providing the test locally, because we can see that there is the weather performances, air, water, and wind are there, and as of now, the world is completely became as one village. They are all open. It can be even tested any part of the world, because not only till it will be established in India. And for this point concerning, and of course, I thanks to Ms. Anupama, she was talking about the facade. The point, okay, maybe in the debate we spoke a little about the fire in some part for the fenestration, but the important point is when I talk about curtain wall, the extension of the slabs, the extent of the slabs to avoid that the fire pass from level to level. And in Hydro, we were one of the first here in Middle East to provide this kind of test according to British standard and according to American standard. So it's an important factor for the safety, because safety at the end is something very, very important factor. Hopefully, and from this webinar, I hope that we can get also this lab very soon in
Last question to you, Kamlesh. Since aluminum window sector is unorganized, does it mean that it's impacting the builders and end users while making their choice, and it's limiting to UPVC? Your last bit. And then,
so since, as Indranil also mentioned, we have got A sector, B sector, and C sector in any business. So we've got the organized and the unorganized sector. Now, these are also derivatives from the entire industry. Look at the industry also, the number of players in the construction industry, and we have, single builders, single building developers. They are doing a lot of things. So definitely there is a lot of potential. And one takeaway from this entire thing is to have a good association and have a skill set developed for the entire upliftment of the market. So whether it is UPVC or aluminum, I think we are talking about the overall growth of the industry, increasing employment and giving better to the economy. So I would look at as getting into more and more enlightening sessions like this, getting more and more people together and working for the upliftment for the industry and making it more organized.
I think thank you so much, all of you. It was really interesting and really learning experience for me as well, and for all the participants who were on this debate series today. Very, very informative session. Mohitji, over to you for the concluding remarks. Thank you so much for all of you for joining today.
Yeah, I would firstly like to thank all the panelists. The debate was really, really amazing. I mean, it was so informative, though. I would like to mention that the audience was very, very active. So while the debate was going on screen, there was a very big debate going on the chats also. And we've done good 20-25 webinars in the last 2 months. And I must say that today's webinar has received the maximum response in terms of the attendees being really active, the attendees really participating in polls, in Q&As, in chat, which means the audience is interested, means the panel has been great. That's how we really understand how the panel went. So thank you to everybody, and we look forward to such more webinars and debate series. Thank you, Jatinji, for handling the entire heat and balancing the heat. I don't know which fire were you trying to balance. It was sometimes this side and sometimes this side. So there was fire on both the sides. So we only discussed fire being inside the building. But what happens when fire from both the sides? Then what do you do? So that's where Jatinji really, really played off well. And thank you, Anupama ji, for concluding the entire debate in a very nice way, giving your last opinion on the entire thing. And thank you very much to each one individually. Thank you. Thank you, panelists.
Thank you.
And thank you, attendees.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the participants.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
And I hope that
Wish
we
you
can
all
get
the
more
best.
sessions. We can get more sessions like that because it's important to educate the markets. And this is what we're following as Technal and Hydro. We are also contributing in organizing this field of fabrication and for knowledge and know-how, something from
Thank you.
to the end user.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's have one association of fenestration, and what Mario and Satish have done, they can extend
job.
To us also.
Thank you.
Looking
Thank you,
forward-
everybody.
Thank you.
Perfect idea,
Thank
really
you.
perfect idea. On the end, it will be the Manufacturer Association of Windows, confirmed, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Good.
Have a nice day, all of you.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.